There's guys, it's a EcoFlow Delta. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's a Delta Pro. It's a 3.6 kilowatt battery, lithium iron phosphate, and here's the unit. It's pretty heavy. I think it's like 40 kilograms or something. Anyway, this is not working. I bought it off from eBay. It's not working. There's some weird code comes in. I'm not gonna bore you with that, but I checked it and it's just not repairable. It's out of warranty, of course. That's why it's on eBay. So what I'm gonna do, what I'm thinking, the battery I checked is perfect. There's nothing wrong with the battery. I think the problem is with the BMS, and the seller said it's also it also smoked. So I'm pretty sure the inverter is blown. I can get the BMS replacement from eBay and the inverter as well, but it's just too much money for that. So I'm gonna go DIY route, and I'm gonna try to fix it myself. Of course, nothing will work. The app will not work. The display will not work. Most likely the USBs will not work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the BMS. I'm gonna put my own BMS. I'm gonna remove the inverter. I'm gonna remove the charger, solar charge controller, everything. I'm gonna leave it the battery only. That's it. I'm gonna remove all the rest of the hardware. And I bought this. This is 48 volts, 2000 watt inverter, and this is 48 volts battery, lithium iron phosphate 15S. So that charges up to 54.75 volts. So what I'm thinking, I haven't done it before. I'm thinking I'm going to remove the panel. I'm going to remove all the boards, and that's where all the inverter and the charger thing is. And on this side there's a BMS. So I'm thinking I'm going to put the BMS, my BMS. I ordered it. It hasn't arrived yet. So I'm gonna, once it arrives, I'm gonna put the BMS here, and I'm gonna try to put this inside here, and the connections for the power, I'm gonna make a connection to make this work. And of course I'm gonna try to put some safety as well. I'm gonna try to put a switch and also a fuse. The charger, I'm thinking if there's a room left in there, I'm gonna put the charger as well inside. If not a worst thing, we can always do it from outside with a brick, one of those chargers, you know, and we can just always charge it. But it's gonna be convenient if it's inside. So I'm gonna see how much space I'm gonna have left after I put the inverter in there. So it's not gonna have a solar anymore. App of course will not work. Which I don't care. I'm gonna put it on the side anyway, and use it as just a backup battery for my usage. So let's see if it works. If nothing, we can always, if this doesn't fit inside, we can always put it outside, because it fits perfectly outside. But it's just gonna be on top, so which is good for ventilation, but I really don't want that unless I have to. So worst come to worst, it's gonna stay outside, and then I'll have way much room inside for the charger and the rest of the gimmicks that, you know, whatever I can think of, I can put in. So either way, I'm gonna utilize the battery. Because it only costed me 250 bucks on eBay, and has 3.6 kilowatt battery in perfect condition. So it's not a bad deal as long as you know what you're doing, you know. And you can buy some other parts and then fix it yourself. So if it fails, it fails. Well, actually, I don't think it's gonna fail, just because, you know, there's nothing to fail. I checked the inverter already, so there's nothing wrong with the inverter. I checked it with my 48 volt battery, and it's working. And there's a 48 volt battery. I checked it before when I bought it, when it arrived, and the battery was perfect. It's just the boards were just giving all the errors. And when I contacted EcoFlow, they said the warranty is already expired unless you pay. And I'm like, you know, screw it. Okay, to start, we're gonna open up this panel. There are a bunch of videos on YouTube already how to open this. You know, just write EcoFlow Delta Pro disassemble or tear down, something like that, and it will they will, like, there's a bunch of videos. I'm not gonna bore you with that, but I'm just gonna give you a quick brief. So this is a rubber thing all around. So you just put a screwdriver on the side and you remove this rubber covering, and there's just holes all over the place. And these are the screws holding it, this top panel. So it takes a while because it's like, I don't know, like some 12, 14 screws. So you remove that and you just open up all the screws, and this one just comes out. Okay, so I've taken all the screws out. All we have to do is just pull this. It's hard to do it with one hand, but you pull it from both sides and it just comes off. Nothing attached. There's nothing in there, so I just put it aside. And here's all the electronics. So since the battery is still connected, just easy way is just take off all these connections. They're all just plug-ins. They're usually XT60 or XT90 connectors. So you just pull this, you pull that, you pull this. I gotta say, this design is pretty awesome in a way that anything breaks, as long as, you know, they provide you parts, you can just replace anything. So this is the power, pretty much this is the whole thing. Inverter, solar charge controller, charger, everything is in there. Not the BMS though. Underneath this, there's a BMS on this side. I'll show you once I open this. And on this side, you just take off all these connectors as well. So you take this out, you take this out, and that's pretty much it. So to remove this, we gotta remove these screws. So there you see 3 of them. So it's only this one needs to be removed for this to come out. But I'll remove all of them anyway because I have to remove everything. And then you just follow whatever all these clips, these screws are. So you just remove everything around, and then this one just comes off. So let me unscrew them, and then I'll show you how that one comes off, and then I'll show you BMS removal after this. Okay, so I removed all the screws that was holding this. So as you can see, this is shaking when I move it, but it cannot come off because of these 2 terminals, which are main positive and main negative, to hold all this devices. So to remove this, we have to remove the BMS first. To remove the BMS, we need to remove this cover. There's the same cover on the other side. We don't need to get into that. So to remove this cover, there's only 2 screws. So one is right here and one is right here. So you remove 2 screws and this one just pops up upwards, and then it comes off. So let me do that. Okay, so I removed the 2 screws. So to remove this panel, you need to pull it up and just wiggle it around to make it come off. So right there. So okay, so here's the main negative and here's the main positive. It actually says right here positive, this is negative. So I already removed the 2 screws from here, so I'm going to remove this screw, I'm going to remove this screw, and these 2 bus bars, or whatever you want to call it, they come off, and then you can remove this whole thing off the main battery. These are the balance wires. These are some communication wires from the battery, both of them. This is the wire to go to the front panel, to turn it off and on and off, and this one is for external batteries when you want to extend the battery with the another piece from EcoFlow. So we can take this off while just pulling, so this one just comes off. Yeah, let's see. So everything just pulls off. So this one comes off, this one needs to come off, this one needs to come off, and this one needs to come off. There you go. So now I'm going to remove this screw, and then I'm going to just wiggle this bus bars off. So when you do that, make sure this one doesn't touch with that, otherwise, you know, it will spark a little, actually a lot. That's 48 volts. So yeah, be careful if you do that. So I removed one. So the second one, you just unhook it from these clips, and then you just wiggle this one a little, and this just comes right off. So you just put that aside. So now we need to remove this plastic. This is just a covering the BMS. So there are like a couple of screws, like one right here, I think one right here, one here, here, and here. So it's like 6 screws, and then this part also comes off. So now let's do that. So now all the screws have been taken. So this one you just need to wiggle a little bit. It just gave me a little bit of a trouble last time. It's just because there are clips going inside. Same thing here, same thing here. So you just have to do it in a way that they both come off. It's hard to do it with one hand, but it just comes off. You see, this one is like holding, so you have to like pull back a little. See, this one comes off, and same thing on this side. So so if I can do it with one hand, come on. I forgot the screw. I don't know. No, there's no screw in there. And just come on. I really don't care even if I break it, because I'm not going to use it anyway, but I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Because see, there are clips behind right there. So that's just hard to move, but okay, let me just do it with two hands and I'll get back to you. Okay, so that came off. So now, this is a BMS. To remove this, we just remove all the screws, pretty much. So they're like 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 8, whatever. So you just remove that, and then this one just comes off. So let's do that. Okay, so I removed all the screws. To check your battery level or the voltage, what you need to do is, you see this main positive of battery and main negative of the battery. So you put your prongs of your voltmeter here, and it will tell you the voltage of yours. To check the levels, not the levels, so the series voltages, you can go with that. You just put your prongs, onto these tabs from 1 to 2 to 3. So these are 16 wires. So that shows as 15 cells in series. So you put one here minus, and then here positive, and it will tell you the voltage of that series. So I already checked mine. So they're all like somewhere around like 3.3 or something. Something like that. But they're all balanced. I checked, they're all balanced. And to show the voltage, so if you put don't remove your screw, because you have to just put it inside to check the voltage, and put it minus here. And if you see, I have 49.8 volts on my voltmeter. So the battery is active. Once I remove this BMS, nothing will have power. So after removing all these screws, you just take this off simply, no issues. Right? Nothing is connected anymore. And the main positive is this one, and this is the main negative. And these ones are going to the external battery. It's coming in from the external battery, let's put it this way. I'm going to remove all those later, but this is main positive and this is main negative. So after I remove all this, you can, up to you, you can leave this, or you can remove these bus bars as well, because the main connection is right there, main positive, and for the main negative is right there. So I'm going to remove, most likely I'm going to remove these as well, because these are naked bars, and it can short if I put my BMS or something like that. So it can short. So I'm going to remove that. Pretty sure I'm going to remove that. I just don't know yet. Plus also here are the prismatic cells inside. You see the blue ones inside. So these are the cells. So the whole thing here, this part is battery. The rest on the top is all the electronics, and here the BMS was. So that's pretty modular, pretty great design. Too bad that I see a lot of them have issues after some usage, like a year or two. And there are a lot of them are available on the internet, on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, just because they break a lot and then the warranty's out, and it's just a bitch to fix. Just because all the electronics, you cannot fix those electronics. You have to get the new boards, and then you have to just get it from eBay or something, because EcoFlow, they don't give you those parts to fix it yourself. But anyway, we're gonna utilize this battery because this is awesome 3.6 kilowatt battery, and we're gonna make a good use out of it as a backup as a backup storage. Okay, so let's remove these now, and actually should be, yeah, so you see now it's removed because those bus bars from here are now disconnected. So now actually I can just pull this one off. It's just a little heavy, so I cannot do it with one hand, but this one just comes off. Like you can see it, like it's already off, so nothing is connected. Actually, this one wire is left, so let's remove this. So now this one just comes off. Okay, so that one just came off. I had to remove the wires from here as well that was connected. I forgot to show you that, but it did just pull off pretty much. So so this frame, this is a metal, very sturdy frame. This holds the top thing, I mean the top cover, the plastic cover. So I'm gonna have to leave somehow this one intact, otherwise we won't be able to secure the top. The battery, I'm gonna have to open this to get access to the battery wires. Actually, I don't even have to. I may have to actually, because I need to get to the main negative and main positive, and I'm gonna have to get the power from there. But for testing for my inverter for now, because my BMS still hasn't showed up yet, so I'm gonna test the connection from main negative and main positive, and just check my inverter, see if it works with this. I already checked it with my other battery, but I'm gonna use this one to test. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna make a connection because this one is already connected, so I'm gonna make a screw. I'm gonna put a screw back in and get the leads, power leads out, and connect it with the inverter. Okay guys, so I plugged in my positive and negative wire to my inverter. That's a 2000 watt inverter. I think this one originally was a little over 2000. I can't remember. Just Google the specs of Delta 2 Pro. But I think it was this originally. It was a little bit bigger, but I don't need that much power anyway. So this is great, 48 volts. Make sure if you guys do similar to this, you get the inverter 48 volts, not 12 volts, not 24 volts, 48 volts. So I plugged this one in. Once the first time you plug in this inverter, or any inverter for that matter, unless you're using a breaker of some kind in between, this the second wire you plug will spark, because there are some capacitors in there, and they do a rapid charge, and that one will spark. So don't be alarmed. Yeah, that is supposed to happen, and it just happened to me as well just now. And you see a little bit of a dent right there. Oh, my finger's not going in there. Yeah, right, this dent, that's where it sparked. But yeah, once it sparks, it's good for like, I don't know, a couple of minutes before it discharges again, and then when you put the wire back in, it will spark again. But anyway, so it's all connected. Let's turn it on and see if it works. And let's see the display. Oops, come on. So it's showing 49.9 volts. Output is 0 because nothing is plugged in. And 60 hertz, 100 volts, because it's North American version. And the battery level is showing 1 bar low, because I think the full charge is 54.75 or 54.6, I think, for this inverter. Because I don't think this is for lithium ion phosphate. I think it's just for lithium ion cobalt. So but it doesn't matter. It's a very, very minor difference, but still. So this is good enough to test. So let's plug in this a little 300 watt heater, my heat gun. Let's plug this one in and see if it works. Come on. The original wires came with this inverter are pretty thin, but they don't need to be too thick, because 48 volts, it is not going to take too much current. The wattage will still be higher, but since it's 48 volts, they don't need to be that thick. But I'm not going to use those when I install it. I'm going to use my 8 gauge wire, which is like, I don't know, 3 times or 2 times at least thicker than this. Okay, so let's I already plugged this one in, and let's turn it on. Okay, yeah, it's already heating, and it's showing 307 or 303 watts of output. Yep. See? So it's working. Perfect. No issues. Okay. You can use it all the way to like 2000 watts, to be honest. This is a pretty good inverter. I used it before. Another version. This is brand new. So here's the situation now. So everything is working. This is these are the balance leads. I'm gonna use that for my BMS. I'm gonna charge and discharge from these terminals, main terminals, through the BMS, of course. Once the BMS arrives, I'll show you how I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna see if this one will fit in there without me having to remove this, because I can't, because I need to secure the top. So if this one fits in there, then perfect. Actually, we can test it right now. I'm gonna remove those wires because that was just for testing. I'm gonna put this one there without wiring it in, and then see if it closes. If it closes, I'll leave it as is. The next step will be, once the BMS arrives, I'm gonna hook up the BMS, and I'm gonna see somehow if I can use these terminals to wire these outlets. So at least I don't. I'm sorry. So I can use these, so because this one will stay inside the box. And for ventilation, if somebody's curious, I'm gonna utilize the same fans that came with it. So these fans I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna install it on the cover, and I'm gonna do a 12 volt power DC to DC converter from 48 volts to 12 volts, and I'll put a switch probably up here or at the back, and I'll turn it on when I use this device. So the ventilation will be good. So this one will not heat up as much. Plus also the charger, if it goes inside, it will also need some ventilation. So that is also in my head. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I will figure it out when the BMS arrives. So right now I'm just gonna, oh, it's still on? Yeah, let's turn it off. So right now I'm just gonna see if this one will fit in there on top, and then we will figure this one out on the second part when my BMS arrives. So stay tuned for the second part, but right now let's put this one up there, and I'm gonna unhook this, and I'm gonna put it up there, and I'm gonna try to close the cover and see if it stays in there. But well, if it does, somehow I'll figure it out how to secure it, probably with a zip tie. There are some screws here, but I don't think I can use that because the batteries, they do have like an inch or two. So I'll see if I can screw it, perfect. If not, zip tie is not end of the world. I'm not gonna be like, taking it to the rocky roads or anything like that anyway. I'm gonna just put it on the side and not move it. So let's see. Okay, so I removed the wires, from the terminal. It's still connected. So if I just put that inside for now, just for testing. Well, oh, it's sparked because this one and this one connected with the metal, and their capacitors in there charged. So now they're discharged. Oh. Okay, so with the height, it's barely up there. But the easy way to find out, put the cover back in and see if it closes properly. Okay, let me just put this cover first. Yeah, so it works. So inverter inside, we still have enough space for fans. 2 fans here, 2 fans on the other side. And yeah, it closes. It's all flushed. Perfect. So that's it for today, and we will do the next part, hopefully finishing it off on the second video when my BMS arrives. So stay tuned.